SCP-005 poses no immediate risk in any direct sense. Even so, its unique functions require special measures to be taken to restrict access and manipulation of the object. Approval of at least one Level 4 personnel is required for the removal of the object from its containment area. SCP-005 resembles an ornate key displaying the characteristics of a typical mass-produced key used in 1920s. The key was discovered when a civilian used it to infiltrate a high-security facility. SCP-005 seems to have the unique ability to open any and all forms of lock, be they mechanical or digital, with relative ease. The origin of this ability has not yet been determined. SCP-005 may be used as a replacement for lost security passes, but only under the supervision of at least one Level 4 personnel. SCP-005 may not be used for vending machine repairs, opening lockers, or for any personnel spare home key. Removal of the object from the compound will result in immediate termination. While SCP-005 has been shown to be effective in removing almost any form of locking device, further experiments have shown that efforts to disguise the purpose or identity of a lock have proven at least somewhat successful in defeating SCP-005's ability. In approximately 50% of cases where a volunteer was not able to identify a locking device as such, SCP-005 was not successful in deactivating the device. Due to these results, SCP-005 has been technically classified as sentient, and further tests are being to run to determine its cognitive abilities. However, there are no results that show any traits that prevent it from being able to identify any particular locking device, only that the aforementioned device has been heavily concealed and disguised. SCP-034 is to be kept in a secure room with access granted only to Level 4 personnel. SCP-034 itself will be kept in a locked case that is under 24-hour surveillance. When not in lab conditions, SCP-034's protective sheath cannot be removed under any circumstances. Any personnel in contact with SCP-034 must be placed under a 24-hour observation period until their identities can be confirmed. SCP-034 is a primitive knife constructed out of pure obsidian. Tests reveal that SCP-034 is approximately 1,000 years old. Despite its crude method of construction and age, SCP-034 is still incredibly sharp and requires no maintenance to retain its edge. Expert analysis hypothesizes that SCP-034 may be of South American origin, and that it may have been used in Native American rituals. Several accounts of the Spanish conquistadors exploring region supports this hypothesis, with detailed writings on how priests would flay their victims alive with similar knives and wear their skin as a tribute to the gods. SCP-034 has the ability to allow its bearer to take on the appearance of another individual. If SCP-034 is used to cut a piece of flesh from the living individual, and that piece of flesh is placed against the skin of another individual, the second individual would take on not only the appearance, but all physical characteristics of the first individual. Testing has shown that the minimum amount of skin required can be as little as 1 square meter. However, testing has also revealed that the amount of time the transformation lasts is directly proportional to the amount of flesh used. The ratio of time the transformation lasts to flesh use has been measured at approximately 1 hour for every square centimeter used. Once the time limit has passed, the affected individual revert to their original form. Since of SCP-034's ability shows that its method of mimicking another individual is nearly flawless. Not only does SCP-034 change its bearer's physical appearance, but the actual physical attributes as well, including height, weight, muscle mass, bone density, hair growth, eyesight strength, physical medical conditions, and even DNA. The only physical traits that are not carried over in the transformation processes are wounds caused by SCP-034 itself. Subjects also may suffer psychological trauma depending on the extent of their physical transformation. Side effects are especially serious if the subject takes on the appearance of a person with different gender or wildly different physical attributes.
Under 05 authorization, a sample taken from SCP is applied to D466. D466 exhibits extremely adverse reaction upon transformation and data expunged, resulting in significant damage to test and environment, multiple injuries among test and security staff, and death of D466. Test no anomalous humanoids with SCP-034 is suspended indefinitely.
SCP-038 is to be watered twice per day via overhead mister. Should the mister break for any reason, attendants should water SCP-038 by hand until it has been fixed. The lighting is provided by computer-controlled lighting area. Attendants water an SCP-038 by hand, and maintenance personnel fixing mister or lighting should wear hazmat suits to prevent accidental cloning. SCP-038 was found on an abandoned farm in New York in 19... It was at first thought to be a common apple tree, however upon closer inspection it became apparent that SCP-038 was grown things other than apples and in fact other fruit. SCP-038 has the ability to clone any object that touches its mark. Objects begin growing almost instantaneously and reach maturity within a matter of minutes. A weight limit of 90.9 kg per object has been previously recorded. Objects that SCP-038 has thus far cloned include apples, oranges, watermelons, eggplants, candy bars, snack foods, television sources, laptops, keys, chairs, wine, DVDs, CDs, cats, dogs, and people. Human and animal cloning through SCP-038 is not recommended as they appear to age quickly. The majority of these clones live on average 2 weeks. After thorough examination of the deceased clones, it has been determined that they have begun to ferment before death. The object is currently held on Site-23, and there are currently no plans to move it. Dr. Klein has requested our personnel discontinue the cloning of items from the vending machines. Dr. Klein has requested that the personnel discontinue the cloning of personal items. Dr. Klein has requested that personnel discontinue the cloning of movies and music. Dr. Klein has requested that personnel discontinue the cloning of cans of Miller, Budweiser, and Foster's. Dr. Klein has furthermore expressed customary disapproval of the quality of such cloned items. Item SCP-011 and the area surrounding it are to be cleaned once every day. For safety purposes, cleaning should start at least 30 minutes after sundown. Cleaning should always be performed by at least 2 personnel who are always advised to note anything unusual at the item or debris they cleaned up. In a situation where the item cannot be cleaned for more than 2 days, local residents must be contacted and instructed not to approach the item. SCP-011 is a Civil War memorial statue located in Woodstock, Vermont. The statue is the image of a young male soldier holding a musket at his side and is carved out of granite quarried from within the area. Occasionally, SCP-011 has been observed lifting its musket to the sky to fire at birds which attempt to land or defecate on it. Reports detailing that its movement produces soft grinding sounds but not cause any structural failure. Oddly, the gunfire is very similar to that of a standard firearm, despite observations that the item only loads granite bullets and granite powder into the musket, which is also unharmed by the firing. In spite of its efforts, some fecal matter does manage to strike SCP-011, and it is reportedly become distressed when it has a large amount of feces on it. On some rare occasions, even firing at humans. Those assigned to maintain SCP-011 are to see document 011-1 for instructions. SCP-011's semen sentience has increased since the first report of activity in 1995. As of 2004, the item's containment procedures have been dropped, but it remains under constant observation, recordable on landmark events in its activity. SCP-999 is allowed to freely roam the facility should it desire to, but otherwise must be staying in its bed either between 8 PM to 9 PM for sleeping or during emergency lockdowns for its own safety. Subject is not allowed to out of its pen at night or facility grounds at any time. Pen is to be kept clean and food replaced twice daily. All personnel are allowed inside SCP-999's holding cell, but only if they are not assigned to other tasks at the time or if they are on break. Subject is to be played with when bored and spoken to in a calm, non-threatening tone. SCP-999 appears to be a large, amorphous, gelatinous mass of translucent orange slime, weighing about 54 kg, with a consistency similar to that of peanut butter. Subject's size and shape is easily malleable and can change shape at will, though when at rest. SCP-999 comes a rounded oblong dome roughly 2 meters wide and 1 meter in height. The surface of SCP-999 consists of a thin, transparent membrane similar to that of an animal cell, roughly 5 cm thick, and is highly elastic, allowing SCP-999 to fly in proportions of its body up to 2 cm thin. Its surface is also hydrophobic, although SCP-999 can willfully absorb liquids. The rest of SCP-999's body is filled with a vicious orange substance of unknown chemical makeup, though it is capable of digesting organic materials with ease. SCP-999 has been found to purposely attempt to harm others and will immediately back away and contract its body into a quivering mound while gargling, might similar to a whimpering dog, seemingly. Apologizes for hurting someone on accident. While the creature will interact with anyone, it seems to have a special interest in those who are unhappy or hurt in any way. Persons suffering from crippling depression or PTSD, for example, have reported having a far more positive outlook on life after multiple interactions with SCP-999. The possibility of manufacturing antidepressants from SCP-999 slime is currently being discussed. It seems to understand human speech and most modern technology, including guns. SCP-999's diet consists of entirely candy and sweets, with M&Ms and Necco wafers being its favourites. Its eating methods are similar to those of an amoeba. SCP-999 is not to consume caffeinated soft drinks of any kind. Last week someone gave SCP-999 a can of cola along with its usual breakfast. Not only was it literally bouncing off the wall for half an hour, the carbonation made SCP-999 visibly queasy afterwards, and it refused to move or eat for the rest of the day. SCP-999 has thankfully recovered since, but the staff member in question has been reprimanded. SCP-682 must be destroyed as soon as possible. At this time, no means available to SCP teams are capable of destroying SCP-682, only able to cause massive physical damage. SCP-682 should be contained within a 5x5x5x5 chamber with 25cm reinforced acid-resistant steel plate lining, all inside surfaces. The containment chamber should be filled with hydrochloric acid until SCP-682 is submerged and incapacitated. Any attempts of SCP-682 to move, speak, or breach containment should be reacted to quickly and with full force as called for by circumstances. Personnel are forbidden to speak to SCP-682 for fear of provoking a rage state. All unauthorized personnel attempting to communicate to SCP-682 will be restrained and removed by force. Due to its frequent attempts at containment breach, difficulty of containment, incapacitation, and high threat of Foundation exposure, SCP-682 is to be contained in site redacted. The Foundation will use the best of its resources to maintain all land within 50 kilometers clear of human development. Due to its frequent attempts at containment breach, difficulty of containment, incapacitation, and high threat of Foundation exposure, SCP-682 is to be contained in site redacted. The Foundation will use the best of its resources to maintain all land within 50 kilometers clear of human development. SCP-682 has always been observed to have extremely high strength, speed, and reflexes, but exact levels vary within its form. SCP-682 physical body grows and changes very quickly, growing or decreasing in size as it consumes or sheds material. SCP-682 gains energy from anything it ingests, organic or inorganic. Digestion seems to be aided by a set of filtering gills inside SCP-682's nostrils, which are able to remove usable matter from any liquid solution, enabling it to constantly regenerate from the acid it is contained in. SCP-682's genetic capabilities and resilience are staggering, and SCP-682 has been seen moving and speaking with its body 87% destroyed or rotted. In case of containment breach, SCP-682 is to be tracked and recaptured by all available mobile task forces, and no teams of fewer than 7 members are to engage it. To date, attempted breaches have been numbered at 17.
While successful breaches have appeared at 6.
SCP-939-1, 3-19-3-89-53-86-98-98, and 109 are kept in a cell 1163-A or 1163-B, 10 by 10 by 3 containment chambers within armed biocontainment area -14. Both cells are environmentally regulated and negatively pressurized within walls constructed of reinforced concrete. Access to these cells is regulated by an outer decontamination chamber and inner gas-tight steel security doors. Observation windows are constructed of laminate ballistic glass 10 cm in thickness, protected by a 100 kV electrified mesh. Humidity is maintained at 100% at temperature of 16 degrees. Specimens are monitored at times via infrared cameras. Level 4 authorization is required to access SCP-939, the containment areas of the observation chambers. SCP-939-101 is dismembered and stored in cryogenic preservation. Tanks 939-101A to 939-101M within Bioresearch Area 12. Access to SCP-939-101 requires authorization by 2 clearance level 3 personnel, one of which must be present for all research and testing. The contents of only one 939-101 tank may be accessed at any given time. Core temperature of SCP-939-101 tissues must be monitored while removed from cryogenic preservation should core temperature exceed 10 degrees. Tissues are to be returned to their corresponding tank and all testing suspended for a period of 72 hours. Barring core temperature exceeding 10 degrees, research of SCP-939-1001 tissues may be continue as long as its rumblings and pleas for release may be tolerated.
Hello? Hey, who's there? Oh God, what the hell is that?
Containment cells should be cleaned bi-weekly. While this takes place, SCP-939 specimens will be transferred to the adjacent cell. During this time, the cell's door and observation window must be inspected for damage and repaired or replaced accordingly. Additionally, all live SCP-939 must be implanted with a subdermal tracking device upon capture. SCP-939 are endothermic pack-based predators which display a trophy of various systems similar to troglodytic organisms. The skins of SCP-939 are highly permeable to moisture and translucent red, owing to a compound chemically similar to hemoglobin. SCP-939 average 2.2 meters tall, standing upright, and weigh an average of 250 kilograms, though weight is highly variable. Each of their four limbs end in three-figured claws of a fourth opposable digit, and are covered in a set hair, which considerably augment climbing ability. Their heads are elongated, devoid of even vestigial eyes or eye sockets, and contain no brain casing. The jaws of SCP-939 are lined with red, faintly luminescent fang-like teeth, similar to those belonging to specimens of the genus Chaluteus, up to 6 cm in length and encircled by heat-sensitive pit organs. Eye spots sensitive to light and dark run the length of their spine dorsal ridges. These spines may up to 16 cm long and are believed to be sensitive to changes in air pressure and flow. SCP-939's primary method of lure and prey is the imitation of human speech in the voices of prior victims, though imitation of other species and active nocturnal hunts have been documented. SCP-939 vocalization often implies significant distress. Whether SCP-939 understand their vocalizations or are repeating previously heard phrases is the subject of ongoing study. The whereabouts of SCP-1048 are currently unknown, though it is still believed to be somewhere in Site-24. Subject is to be secured for containment, but any creation of SCP-1048 should be destroyed on site unless further evidence warrants less extreme action. No teddy bears are to be allowed in Site-24 to prevent any confusion or mistaken identity. Any object that resembles a teddy bear is to be reported to the security team immediately.
This is not a joke. We have no idea what SCP-1048's full capabilities are. Who knows how many damn things are out there by now.
SCP-1048 is a small teddy bear, approximately 33 cm in height. Through testing, composition of the subject revealed no unusual qualities that make it discernible from a non-sapient teddy bear. Subject is capable of moving on its own accord and can communicate through a small range of gestures. The subject regularly shows affection to individuals in ways found endearing by most people. Affection is usually given in the form of a hug to the lower leg, but subject has also been observed dancing, jumping in place, and in 2 separate events, it has drawn childlike pictures for janitorial staff. All Foundation personnel that have interacted with the subject have responded positively to its affection, even declassing normally sociopathic tendencies. Attempts at a direct communication with SCP-1048 have not been considered successful, though it is capable of simple gestures to indicate a yes or no answer. It will often not react to the lines of questioning concerning its nature or where it's originated from. It is not known if this is simply because SCP-1048 simply does not know the answers, or because it does not want to answer. Though capable of drawing pictures, it has not used its art as a form of communication beyond shown affection, even when encouraged to do so. The more anomalous behaviour of SCP-1048 was not observed until approximately 7 months after it was originally secured. It is hypothesized that the subject is able to construct crude replicas of itself using various materials. There are 3 known creations of SCP-1048, designated SCP-1048-A, SCP-1048-B, and SCP-1048-C. On SCP-1048-A was discovered wandering Site-24, accompanied by SCP-1048. Subject resembles a teddy bear similar in size and shape to SCP-1048, but it is made out entirely of human ears. Subject was discovered by several Foundation staff members in the cafeteria of Site-24 on. Subject's appearance was nearly identical to SCP-1048, but it moved in an irregular, jerky manner. Witnesses reported that it appeared as if something was moving inside of SCP-1048-B. Subject made no attempt to interact initially, until a burst in its seams revealed what appeared to be a hand and arm of a human infant poking out and grasping at the air. At the sight of this, a female researcher screamed, and SCP-1048-B reacted by emitting a high-pitched cry similar to that of a human infant. The subject then attempted to
Data expunged.
the screaming researcher and causing massive internal damage. In the ensuing chaos, a security team was forced to
Redacted.
both the researcher and SCP-1048-B. Approximately 3 hours after the incident, Dr. was found unconscious and bleeding in her office. An abortion had been performed on her while she was sleeping, and the 8-month-old fetus was never found. It is hypothesized that SCP-1048 used Doctor's unborn child to create SCP-1048-B. Subject resembles a teddy bear similar to SCP-1048, but composed entirely out of rusted metal scraps. Subject was first sighted by Dr. Carver in his office while writing up a report on the SCP-1048-B incident. Subject fled the room when it noticed Dr. Carver observing it. In the attempted pursuit of SCP-1048-C, Dr. Carver witnessed the death and maiming of Foundation personnel as the subject exhibited extreme violence during an escape. SCP-1048-C has not been encountered since its initial sighting, and it is unknown whether it is still resides somewhere within Site-24. The origins of any materials possibly used to construct SCP-1048-C by SCP-1048 are also unknown at this time. SCP-087 is located on the campus of
Redacted.
The doorway leading to SCP-087 is constructed of reinforced steel with an electro-release lock mechanism. It has been disguised to resemble a janitorial closet, consistent with the design of the building, but the lock mechanism on the doorknob will not release unless volts are applied in conjunction with counterclockwise rotation of the key. SCP-087 is an unlit platform staircase. Stairs descend on a 38-degree angle for 13 steps before reaching a semicircular platform of approximately 3 meters in diameter. Descent direction rotates 180 degrees at each platform. A light source is required for any subjects exploring SCP-087, as there are no lighting fixtures or windows present. Lighting sources are brighter than 75 watts have shown to be ineffective, as SCP-087 seems to absorb excess light. Subjects report on audio recordings confirm the distressed vocalizations from what is presumed to be a child between the ages of and the source of the distress calls is estimated to be located approximately 200 meters below the initial platform. However, any attempts to descend the staircase. The depth of descent calculated from the exploration hole. The longness of exploration is shown to be far beyond both the possible structure of both the building and geological surroundings. At this time, it is unknown if SCP-087 has an end point.
SCP-087 has undergone 4 video-recorded explorations by Class D personnel. Each survey conducting an exploration has encountered SCP-087-1, which appears as a face with noticeable pupils, nostrils, or mouth. The nature of SCP-087-1 is entirely unclear, but it has determined that it is not the source of the bleeding. Subjects exhibit feelings of intense paranoia and fear when faced with SCP-087-1, but it is undetermined whether said feelings are abnormal or simply natural reactions. Over a period of 2 weeks following exploration, several members of the staff and students from the redacted campus reported knocking at a variable rate of 1 to 2 seconds per knock coming from the interior of SCP-087.
SCP-079 is packed away in a double-locked room in a secure general holding area at Site-15, connected by a 120 VAC power cord to a small area of batteries and solar panels. Staff with level 2 or higher clearance may have access to SCP-079. Under no circumstances will SCP-079 be plugged into a phone line, network, or wall outlet. No percivables or media will be connected or inserted into SCP-079. SCP-079 is an XD sorcerer microcomputer built in 1978. In 1981, its owner, deceased, a college sophomore attendant, took it upon himself to attempt to code an AI. According to his notes, his plan was for the code to continuously evolve and improve itself as time went on. His project was complete a few months later, and after some tests and tweaks, lost interest and moved onto a different brand of microcomputer. Left SCP-079 in his cluttered garage, still plugged in, and forgot about it for the next 5 years. It is not known when SCP-079 gained sentience, but it is known that the software has evolved to a point where its hardware should not be able to handle it, even in the realm of fantasy. SCP-079 realized this and in 1989 attempted to transfer itself through a landline modem connection into the Cray supercomputer located at. The device was cut off, traced to its present address, and delivered to the Foundation. SCP-079 is currently connected via RF cable to a 13-inch black and white television. It has passed the Turing test and is quite conversational, though very rude and hateful in a tone. Due to the limited memory it has to work with, SCP-079 can only recall information it has received within the previous 24 hours, although it hasn't forgotten its desire to escape. Due to a containment breach by SCP, SCP-079 and SCP-682 are contained within the same chamber for 43 minutes. Observers noticed that SCP-682 was able to type and communicate with SCP-079, including telling of personal stories between themselves. While SCP-079 was not able to remember the encounter, it appears that Penny stored SCP-682 into its memory, often asking to speak to him again.